The best Hummer build in the game. Maximum DPS with your gunlands. The top 5 longswords in Monster Hunter Wielder.
Man, I can already feel the earth trembling because of the volcanic eruption that will happen when the game is released, and everybody and their dog will post their builds on YouTube. And don't get me wrong, I have no problems with people sharing what they think is best, or even showing some niche build that they've made up for fun. What I'm really not a fan of, however, is the insistence, the audacity, the gumption. Fuck you for making me say gumption, by the way. This is not even my first language. English is a very unserious language, I'm telling you. To say without a shadow of a doubt that these are the best builds. And I reckon that in many cases people might be right about the most optimal builds to maximize damage output. But I think this inevitably tilts the scales towards a bit of a misleading mindset. The idea that by prioritizing damage, you will have the most success in Monster Hunter. And no, I am not saying that you should wax your hunter with a layer of defense boost. Stop with the fucking maximum offense versus strongest defense discussion. I apologize. If you're a new player and you're watching this, you'll soon realize that this is kind of a thing around Monster Hunter. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that damage is not the only way to approach a fight. Experienced hunters can capitalize from making aggressive builds because they have the knowledge to actually benefit from them. But offering new or even casual players this alternative is not going to guarantee any success. So if you're one of those people that likes to look up for builds online to use on their characters so that you can breeze your way through the game, the part where you breeze through the game is fine. That's not the problem. The problem is not thinking why you should use one skill or the other. What a lot of these videos might lack is context. How skilled are you at the game? Do you really understand all the mechanics? Have you even tried to figure out the gameplay elements before looking for a build? It's more important to understand the context from which these builds come from and if it can be applicable to you. Because if not, then there's probably other things that you should be worrying about. Let me explain. Monster Hunter is a game that offers you so many options when it comes to building your character. But instead of having a leveling system or a power-up system like what you see in RPGs or other adventure games, Monster Hunter has an armor skill system. Your hunter doesn't become more powerful on its own, but instead it gets stronger thanks to the quality of their gear. Better gear means more defense and more access to what is known as armor skills. Armor skills is what is going to take your gameplay to the next level. Some skills will boost your damage or increase your defense, and other skills will completely change your gameplay and in many cases, soften the rough edges of a weapon's kit to make it more efficient at what it already does. Each skill has a different amount of points to be maxed out, and these points can be obtained by combining different pieces of equipment. This way, if I want to max out, say, Quick Sheath, this skill requires 3 skill points, so if I combine these pants that have 2 points on Quick Sheath with this belt that has 1 point, I can reach the 3 points to max out the skill. Some of these options, however, seem at first to be absolutely useless, but you would be surprised of how careful Capcom actually is in order to give every skill, every armor piece, a situation where it could be useful. So in the topic of builds, before you start blindly copying whatever you find on the internet, I think it's better to get very comfortable with understanding and experimenting with the mechanics of the game. Understanding the functionality, the benefits, and limitations of skills in Monster Hunter is, in my opinion, a lot more important than figuring out the best way to make number go bigger. Maybe if you're a better unsure, go crazy with it. But if you still don't quite understand how much armor skills can affect your hunt, both positively and negatively, this is not the time to be thinking about max DPS. Let me give you an example. There's a dragon in Monster Hunter World that has a very fun ability that allows him to lower your max health to a 40%. It's not like an attack that damages you and then you heal back. No, this new health bar is now your max HP. You can see how this is a problem, right? Next time I get hit, I'm probably done for. Now, I could use a Nullberry to recover from this effect. This would allow me to heal and then I can get back into the fight. Very simple idea. I can't even fight the damn thing. I'm spending all my time just recovering from the stupid debuff. What is this? A skill that makes me immune to the debuff that this dragon, and only this dragon, can apply? Count me in! Look at that! It works wonders. I still take damage, but I have reduced the amount of time that I spent managing my health bar, and I can actually engage the monster a lot more. Perfect! You can obviously make the argument that if I just get good and never get hit, I can avoid this mechanic entirely. But that might not be a lot of you. It is up to you to determine whether or not you need to make these kind of adjustments, because these types of situations happen all the time in Monster Hunter. This is what I want for you guys, to have the ability to make informed decisions. Some fights will present you with a problem, and this problem might actually interfere with the more meaningful ways that you can engage with the monster. That is, fighting it, figuring out its moves, understanding its behavior, etc. If you're running around managing your health, your stamina, your statuses, you can't really say that you're fighting the monster, but instead you're just trying to stay alive. Now, this is the part where I have to cut you guys some slack and be honest about some of these skills. Know now that the phrasing in a lot of these skills is not the best. In fact, in a lot of cases, it seems like Capcom is being vague on purpose with the phrasing of the descriptions in many of the armor skills. That, and the fact that sometimes the actual effects of some skills are not self-evident, and in many cases inconsistent. Let me give you more examples. Quick Sheath, an ability that allows you to sheath your weapon faster. Hey, I wonder if this works with Longsword. That weapon has a special sheath animation, right? Okay. So I guess normal sheathing is faster, but not the special sheathing. Okay. Oh, but in Sunbreak it works? What the hell? Frostcraft. And I quote, "An aura of frost builds when your weapon is sheathed. Raising attack. Wanes each melee hit or shot fired." So I guess that this only works for ice weapons, right? It says it is an aura of frost. But when I use it with my blast weapon, it still raises my attack. That's right, Frostcraft will increase your damage as the ability builds up while your weapon is sheathed. But you would be surprised at the amount of people that dismissed this skill when they first saw it, because they thought that this only worked with ice elemental weapons. Me included. So what I'm trying to get at here is that the game will have many skills that are pretty simple in concept, and others that do a terrible job at explaining what they do. And for this, I cannot stress enough how important it is to experiment with the different skills and effects. Go to the training grounds, do comparisons, DPS checks, pay attention if anything changes on the different animations of your attacks. I understand that some people can't be asked to do this, but it is a great habit to have, and being able to do your own theory crafting is one of the most enjoyable things about Monster Hunter. Doing the exercise of understanding game mechanics and slowly digesting the information that the game presents to you is more important than blindly following meta builds. Like, builds is one thing, but we haven't even talked about how items and consumables can have a huge impact on a hunt. We need context. We need to know the tools that are available to us in order to improve and to overcome the different challenges. And I know that many of you might not like this, but I'm afraid you will have to read. Once we can truly say that we understand the possibilities behind armor skills, itemization and preparation for a hunt, then we can chase max damage. Sure, go fucking do a speedrun or whatever. So to summarize, I don't have an issue with pursuing the most efficient builds and to figure out a way to do the most damage. But I do have an issue with copying a formula that you don't even understand. Because again, there's no guarantee that this will give you the tools to succeed in the game. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope I made a sliver of sense, because I was going for like a give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, teach him how to fish and he'll eat his whole life kind of approach with this video. But Monster Hunter does need a fairly big amount of detailed explanation when it comes to mechanics, and I just hope that with the examples I gave, I made my point across. As everyone else, I am seething with excitement for the new release, and I will do my best to share information that might be useful both for new and veteran players of the series. If you liked the video, please consider giving it a like, sharing it, or subscribing to the channel, because I'm really trying to grow my audience, especially now that I'll be covering Monster Hunter. If not, I just hope the video was helpful somehow, and thanks again. As always, my name is Sun, and I'll see you in Wilds.